This is normally where we get all the deer, so I figured I'd just do a quick video here. See what we get. These guys over here, there you go, there's one. They're really not all that afraid of cars. Hi, buddy. You gonna move or not? I do feel kind of bad. I just sort of spun my tires on that lawn. Now, I don't know if you saw it, but there was a deer on the left-hand side as well. Good news is I have street tires, so I probably didn't rip up the grass. I probably just made a slick spot. But all right, let's see what else we got over here. Usually around this turn, I'm having fun dodging deer. So hunting in New Jersey is it's not really hunting, it's more just like aiming, right? Even when you, there's another one right there that I can get nice and close to if I want to. Hi, buddy. And so when they're crossing the street, you can actually get right up on them and at 2 miles an hour bump them with your bumper and they move out of the way. It's kind of crazy. I mean, you don't try to injure them, you just try to train them to be scared of cars or something. It's crazy. They're like spectators sitting on the side of the road watching the cars. It's not even like deer anymore. But anyway, I just remember when I was a kid that the deer would be nuts, man. You'd be just driving like this and they'd come flying across the road because they were spooked, you know, and you didn't see them coming. Sometimes they'd run into the side of your vehicle. I've hit one deer in my life, and there's two more. Oh man, I missed it. Hit one deer, and I've been hit by two. So in other words, you're driving along, and you don't run them down. They run into you. They run into the side of your vehicle. One of them hit the back quarter panel of my dad's truck when he was out of town with my mom. And I remember did some pretty serious damage. So yeah. Anyway, deer hunting in New Jersey, more of a like I said, a game of aiming your weapon, whether it's an arrow, because they won't run away. If you miss them, they're just going to wonder what that little noise was, and they're going to go back to eating the grass. It's kind of crazy. The good news is that my friends who hunt have an overabundance of venison, but the New Jersey state law is just so stupid. We have so many deer, but the law is antiquated. For some reason, they'll let you take as many does as you want, but you're only allowed one buck. But I hate to tell them, one buck can impregnate like, 200 does, right? I mean, that might be an exaggeration, but if you want to control the population, you have to take the bucks. You don't take the does, or you take both, right? And so, anyway, so that's the situation in New Jersey. I'm half awake. I'm going to probably keep recording just for the heck of it here. Why not? But yeah, just wanted to capture that on video. I was hoping to get a closer call, if you will, where I could actually, bump a deer and show you what that's like. Because, I mean, this is a daily thing. This is crazy. This is when I come home later. When I come home late at night, they're like sleeping on my lawn next to my driveway, and they sometimes stand up. Sometimes. I mean, they're as close as the guardrail is to my truck right now, and I'll just drive right by them, and they're just like, hey, look, another vehicle. They don't care. They don't care. So they're domesticated. Domesticated deer. So actually, you want to stay tuned in, because in about 2 minutes, we're going to be driving through a really cool area. Unfortunately, the weather's kind of sucky today, so it's not going to be as pretty as it normally would. But yeah, kind of a neat area up here. You have the Round Valley Reservoir, which is a cool reservoir, right? So I don't know how many years ago, 50, 60 years ago, there was a town over here. And as is the custom in New Jersey, there was corruption. Somebody said, man, we need a reservoir. We want to bring water to Newark, New Jersey. And this place out in Hunterdon County, Round Valley, we can just build this big dam and capture water and pump it in from the river. because there's no natural water source filling Round Valley. And we'll build this reservoir, and then we'll pump the water all the way out to Newark and all that. Well, they built the reservoir. They moved the houses out of here. They either demolished them, or some of them they actually carted off and we were just driving past them. They actually relocated houses. But this reservoir that we're driving through right now is still filled from the river. All the water is pumped into it, and when it's too full, they pump it back out to the river because of heavy rains or whatever. But there's no streams feeding it. There's no exit from it. The water doesn't go anywhere. It just sits here. And so it's crystal clear. It's really cool. It's some places really deep, but you can still see the foundations of the old silos and houses and all that if you're out there on a boat, or if you're scuba diving. A lot of people like to scuba dive here. But yeah, they never connect it with anything. And right now the water's been pumped down about 20-25 feet because they're doing maintenance around the entire circumference of the lake. I think they wanted to put an access road all the way around or something like that. And so all these people were relocated. Eminent domain, which is, you know, these days it seems like it's rarely used for legitimate reasons. It's used, unfortunately, for reasons that are political in a lot of cases, where somebody wants to look like they're a good leader, they want to finish this project, it's not really a necessary project, but if they don't finish it, they don't look like they're doing their job, blah, blah, blah. So, eminent domain should be, see, the government likes to suck money out of the citizens and make, in my opinion, bad use of it in a lot of cases. There's some good stuff that they do, but the private industry does it so much better in a lot of cases. And what happens is the government likes to take it, they like to process it, take their cut, pay their people, and then go out and hire somebody in the private industry to do something in a lot of cases. And it's just a very, very wasteful way of managing money, and that's why so many people are complaining about high taxes and all of that, because they just tax people like crazy. In New Jersey, somebody making a decent wage, 50 grand or more, is taxed, by the time they're all said and done, between the tax coming out of their paycheck, the tax for their homeowners, property taxes and local taxes, state taxes, federal taxes, registrations, which are a tax, health care, which according to the Supreme Court is a tax. The average person has 60 to 72% of their income go to tax. A tax is supposed to be a small amount on top of a purchase to help subsidize necessary functions in society. Road building, for instance, so that you can actually have commerce, right? Law enforcement. Unfortunately, there's such an abuse of that method of funds collection now that just goes crazy. It just goes crazy, and they just steal from people. So, yeah. I'm not sure how I got on that. I'm trying to backtrack in my head. We were talking about the reservoir, and all of a sudden I'm talking about taxes. But I have to rewatch my own video. I said I was only half awake. So yeah, we're coming up on the only portion of highway that I drive on my way to work. We're about to hop on that. But before we do, we go on the smallest road that I take on my way to work. So this is a legitimate named road with a speed limit of 10 miles an hour. It doesn't even have a normal speed limit sign. Technically right now I'm doing 15 miles an hour, so I could get a big fat ticket. Good luck doing a speed trap on this street. But they could do it, I'm sure. That's just the driving tax, right? Because really, 15 miles an hour on the street. If I want to do 15, I'm taking the chance of getting caught, and then it'll cost me in New Jersey, if I get that ticket, and it's a points violation because I'm speeding. The ticket would cost me over the course of a year, actually over the course of 3 years, between $1,000 and $1,500. And so that's a tax, right? And it's a choice. Do I want to do 15 miles an hour and chance that $1,500 over 3 years? Or do I want to do 9.5 miles an hour and have some impatient northeast driver passing me, beeping the horn, honking, cursing at me, showing me the New Jersey bird, because nobody in New Jersey is a patient driver. I'm sorry, that is a complete lie. There are patient drivers. They're very, very few and far between. Even right now, I just had this little car right behind that truck there. You didn't see it, it was off camera. And he was behind me, and he tried to switch lanes and just about rammed into the back of my truck while I'm making a right-hand turn into the parking lot. Happens every single day. Hi, Robin. Hi, Robin. Poor Robin gets here before 7 o'clock in the morning, and then she goes out and checks the mail. I don't even process the mail until after lunch, but she likes to take the walk. So, yep, so here we are, Autodrill headquarters. Actually looking forward to the day. Nice, exciting day of living in mission and destiny, changing people's lives, doing some real stuff. So, God bless you guys. Have a great day. And remember, if you're in New Jersey, eat venison, because there's plenty of it, and it's healthier than the stuff you're getting from your farms anyway.